Good morning to those in the live stream and those watching the replay. Good morning as well. I know the guys who watch the replay, the men and women who watch the replay, we appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this even when it's not live. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. The morning after is what I labeled this, as in mourning, because we all are mourning. And I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. I don't even think I got a little bit of sleep, to be honest with you. I think of the kids, right? I think of the children. I think of Charlie's wife. I think of Charlie's parents, right? And the thing is Charlie knew for sure 100% what he was doing was dangerous, because I know what I'm doing is dangerous, and I don't have millions of followers on a platform, right? And the reason I know it's dangerous is because there's people that have created social media profiles, and the username is my address, and the profile picture is my house. And I know that there's a danger that comes with putting the truth out there. So I know Charlie knew what he was doing was dangerous. I know that for sure. A piece of comfort that I have is knowing that Charlie was right with God and he was a man of faith. And whether you're a believer or non-believer, because I mentioned God yesterday, and for some reason it just triggers people, right, into this whole sense of evil, where they just want to fight with you in a comment section and try to convince you that God's not real. I'm going to tell you guys one thing. I believe in God. You guys don't know this, but I've passed away once in my life. I was an addict in recovery, made bad decisions, and I passed away, and that brought me closer to my higher power, another spiritual being. So a comment section on the internet is not going to convince me that God doesn't exist because you don't believe. Because I was a believer, then a non-believer, and then a believer again because of my experiences. So I'm not interested in having a dialogue and discussion around you not believing in God. That's the last thing I want to have with anybody on the internet, because I don't care if you don't believe, right? I can feel comfort in knowing that Charlie Kirk believed, and I can feel comfortable in knowing that Charlie Kirk is now living an eternal life. Gone too soon for sure, 100%. His mission will carry on. Millions have woken up. I don't know if you're seeing the videos on social media today of leftists leaving the left and saying this was the line in the sand. This is the line in the sand for them. And I'm all over the map this morning, guys. I haven't had a lot of sleep, and I apologize for that. But I felt it important to come on here and address all of you about how my night went. And it didn't go very well. I will say one thing, though. One thing that came to light through all of this is I said, and maybe I jumped the gun on it, or maybe it just hasn't been enough time yet. But I said, when protests break out, I'll be going to the airport and I'll be bringing you guys a story. And I'm not lying about that. I was very transparent and said I have to be home by Sunday because I have to be somewhere on Monday. But I would hop on a plane and I would go somewhere and I would cover that for you. The protests haven't broken out. And there's a lesson there. Probably because we don't protest. We don't flip cop cars and burn buildings and destroy cities. The last major protest in Canada was the Freedom Convoy, which was rightfully unjust. Meanwhile, we've had Palestinian protests and anti-Canada protests and all these other protests, and law enforcement and the government just turns a blind eye to it. That's how I know we're in a level of good versus evil. I said it in my video this morning. I don't know if you've watched it. I hope you have. If you haven't, that's okay. And left versus right. And I've said this about a year ago too. This isn't left versus right anymore. This is good versus evil. And you're either pick a side or you don't. And I will treat you accordingly to what you are. If you're evil, you will be treated accordingly. The people that say that I'm being part of the division, no, you're just evil. The devil works in mysterious ways. If you want to manipulate the conversation to try to convince people that I'm the evil one, yesterday just proved who is evil. You guys want to manipulate the conversation and call us fascists. Meanwhile, Nazi Germany was unaliving their political opponents. And you guys are out here cheering that happening today. So who's the real fascists? Who are they? They're not the conservatives that you claim they are. They're you. They're you. I always go back to Karl Marx. I always talk about it. You guys know I do. Maybe it's a broken record, but I'm not going to stop. Karl Marx said, accuse the other side of doing exactly what you're doing. And you can manipulate people and make them evil. This event that happened yesterday proves that. For how long, and I know some of you watching this have experienced this, for how long have you been demonized for being a conservative? For how long have you had people in your family try to tell you that you side with evil because they're liberal? And it was a breath of fresh air to wake up this morning to see multiple videos of the left. And all Americans, by the way. I'm not going to pretend that Canadians are leaving the left, because I'm not. I'm going to be transparent, but this was all Americans that I watched. They're leaving the left and they're moving to the right because this was the line in the sand. But don't get me wrong, folks, the same problem exists in Canada. The same problem exists here. If you think that we don't have evil in our liberalism in Canada, NDP, all it takes is for you to look at what they're doing to children in schools. If you look at what they're doing to Chris and Tamara from the Freedom Convoy, yes, maybe they're not taking a life, but I can tell you that there's leftists out there that if something ill were to happen to one of those two people, would cheer it. And I'll bring up Rachel Gilmore again yesterday for being a disgusting, vile human being with her posts immediately after attacking us. But this is what Rachel Gilmore does. Rachel Gilmore goes out and makes posts that will go viral to trigger a reaction so people will hate on her, and then turns it around and claims the victim for support. She's a disgusting, vile human being. She's evil, is what she is. And I'm gonna prove to you the evil of them right now. I don't want any liberal to get fired for their political opinion. I don't want them to lose their livelihood. And I want them to be able to provide for their families. And I most certainly don't want them to be unalived for their opinion. And not only that, I will not ever cheer for somebody being unalived at all. Ever. Yet I get fired January of 2024 because leftists don't like my opinion. Fine. We broke through that. They cheered it. Yay, he's not going to be able to provide for his family anymore. It's pretty evil. And yet Charlie Kirk passes away and they're cheering it as well. I just proved to you good versus evil. I just told you and gave you a real life world example of how evil they are. This isn't about division. But I will tell you, if you're a liberal and you're going to promote liberal policies, my approach to you has changed. I no longer want dialogue. I no longer want discussion because you have proven that's not what you want. What I will do is expose you for who you are, evil. And that's hard to do. You don't want to do that. But there's no choice anymore. When you guys cheer the death of a man who spoke out against you, and all he wanted to do was bring you to the table for a discussion, that's pretty evil, and that's pretty gross. Reese says, tagged you in a post Facebook about a guy making t-shirts about his death is disgusting and fuck. That is disgusting and fuck. And I had somebody message me and asked me, well, it wasn't just one person, there was multiple people, asked me if I was going to be making t-shirts, and my quick response is no, absolutely not. Yes, I have a store. Yes, I sell merch, but I'm not going to be making t-shirts about that. I would never do that. That's not something that I'm really even interested in doing. I'm going to continue doing what I do every single day because I do believe in what I wear. That's true. Freedom over fear. How fitting of a hoodie. So the first hoodie I grabbed out of the closet today was freedom over fear. How fitting. And I looked at it, right? I was like, wow, I haven't worn this hoodie in a long time. And for that one to be the one that I picked today, that's pretty impressive. It's almost like it was meant to be, right? I just want you guys to know that I've been talking with some very, very, very large American content creators, and they're hurting. They're hurt. They're sad. Some of them friends with Charlie. And my prayers and my thoughts and my hearts are with them as well, because they're scared, right? They're scared. Kim says, I'm a liberal. How dare you call me evil just because of my affiliation? Well, Kim, you are. You are evil. And I don't care that you hate me for that. And I really don't care about your feelings either. Right? And if my side told you to die, I didn't tell you to die. And I would like to see proof of that, because conservatives genuinely, we don't do that. But we have living proof yesterday that your side unalives opponents. And you want to talk about, your side who likes to label us fascists. Hey, Kim Fraser Spur, you like to label us fascists, except fascists unalive their political opponents and then cheer for it. So no, I'm not going to walk on eggshells because your feelings are hurt. I'm going to call you for what you are. You're evil. You support evil. You support evil policies. You indoctrinate children, and enough is enough. We're not considered, and we're not interested in dialogue and discussion with people like you anymore. You are what you are. Own it. Wear it proudly. And we're going to treat you as such. Wear that proudly, Kim. Oh, looks like you're so detached from reality, it's damn scary. A brain so smooth that a lobotomy would only... That's a troll comment right there. Trevor Ibister. That's absolutely a troll comment. You got AI to write that too. Good job, buddy. Good job. So we see that the trolls are coming in today because they can't handle it, right? They can't handle it. They can't handle us actually standing up the day after. They want us to go away. They want us to go away. So let's look at some support comments because the trolls are in here. They love that. Berta Proud Dad, thank you for your clear and proud voice. Not wavering to the woke mob. It gives all of us who have been saying this, looking like crazies, a voice. Thank you. Because I do have support. I have a lot more support than I have hate, right? And let's be honest, the left hate that I have a platform, and now they know I'm going hard at them. So it's not going to be nice for you. It's going to suck. It's going to suck. And to the other, oh yeah, I got to address this. People talking about my thermostat. It's unhooked right now, and it's totally off topic, but this is the way my live streams go sometimes. I got a furnace being put in today because my motor blew up over the weekend. So that's why my thermostat's off. And my podcast studio is currently under construction. So I really have nowhere to do this stuff other than my kitchen table. So I appreciate you guys. You have a lot of support, says Nadine. Nadine, I absolutely know that. And thank you so much for the comment. We are not going away. We'll only get stronger and stronger. You're absolutely correct. That smooth brain comment was Lefty Kim, Berta Proud, not you. Okay, so we take back Trevor Abister. Maybe you're not a troll, but at the end of the day, my apologies, because I can own when I'm wrong, right? I can absolutely do that. It's super easy for me to do. And I can apologize. Trevor, I am sorry. I'm sorry, and I hope you accept my apology. I was wrong. So yeah, liberals could learn something from me. It's not hard to be accountable to your actions, right? Hopefully this Canada First rally is a hit. We need them across the country. I've seen that rallies are coming up. I've seen that. And I just enjoy, like the fact that you guys are coming to spend the morning with me. I know it's not easy on any of us right now, right? There's a huge hole in our movement. There's a huge hole in our side. Charlie was an amazing human being. Amazing. It would be cool to meet you, dude. Where are you from? I'm in Calgary, Lyndon. And I truly want you guys to understand that it is truly freedom over fear, right? We can't be fearful of the left, and we can't be fearful that they might harm us or dox us or make us lose our jobs because of our opinions. We can't fear this. This is not something that you can fear. Freedom over fear. And it's not going to come easy. None of this will be easy, ever. I have the utmost respect for you and what you stand for. Thanks, Chad. Appreciate that, buddy. That's a big problem these days. Nobody wants to be held accountable for direction. You're right, Sherry. Nobody. The left hates accountability. That's why they use their troll accounts. That's why they lack accountability, because they don't want nobody to know who they are while they spout off accusations and try to hurt people. I don't care. I'll come out and say what I said, and I'm not going to be upset about it. Right? And then when I'm wrong, I will own it 100% of the time. Next time you're in the East Coast, you need to come to New Brunswick. There are a lot of conservatives here, but a large senior population, happy in French. John, I do want to go back to the East Coast for sure. I want to bring, we came out with a new East Coast conservative line in a design. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's over on the website. And I want to hand deliver it to Dominic Diamond, the radio host at 89.9 FM The Wave, who did a hit piece on me because I was in his province. So I want to hand deliver him a whole East Coast conservative merchandise package. So I got to figure out how I'm going to go about doing that. And this is the thing, right? Like, I was talking to my wife about this yesterday. The amount of hate that I receive would only be a fraction of what Charlie would have received. And the amount of death threats I get, which is one a day right now, yeah, would have only been a fraction. So that's kind of, but they're still there, and there is danger in doing what we're doing. But only the weak will fall, and only the weak will become silent. And I'm not weak. I'm strong. I am ill-willed. No, not ill-willed, but I'm ill-willed towards evil, which means the left, right? I want them to understand that the policies that they prop up are hurting people, and we are not going to sit by anymore and just be quiet or silent. We are not going to do it. We are not going to do it. If you want to sexualize children, you're going to be called out for it. If I see a public profile where you do show who you are and you are a part of sexualizing children, I am going to post it. You are going to get what you deserve, and that is hate. Because we hate evil here. We hate it. We despise it. It's disgusting. And if you think that is a part of division, well, guess what? You guys are the side that are unaliving your opponents. You want to talk about division? I don't hate you. I don't like what you say, but I don't hate. I'm a loving person. You do hate. You're a liberal, Kim. We've already gone over this. You hate. Your side killed somebody yesterday, and your side cheered for it. We don't kill our opponents. We want discussion. There's a line in the sand now. Like I said earlier, people from the left are leaving the left because this is the line in the sand. You can't still support leftism when this shit is happening on your side. If this was a conservative that was doing this, I literally would fucking publicly denounce being part of a side. But here's the fun fact. We don't cheer when people die, and we don't unalive people for having an opinion. Your side does that. Your side does that. So don't come in here trying to manipulate a discussion like a typical liberal. You do hate because you're part of the party of hate. And that's what you're going to start seeing from Berta Proud Dad. I used to just scroll by those comments. Scroll by them. Not anymore. I'm over it. And I'm done with it. You want to publicly announce that you're a liberal in my live, I will call you the fuck out for what you are. A hateful person. Your side unalives people. Your side cheers for it. Your side sexualizes children. And then your side demonizes the other side and manipulates the conversation. We're not going to be part of it. And if you don't like it, don't be here. Click exit live. It's simple. It's not hard. It's very easy to do. Because you're not changing my mind. You're not changing. You tell me how anybody in their right mind could move from conservative to liberal right now. People, tell me, how could anybody in their right mind move from liberal to conservative right now? Or from conservative to liberal right now? Because I could tell you that people are moving from liberal to conservative right now. Because we're not fucking hateful. We're not. And I'm okay with the backlash that they think they're going to give me. Because like I said, folks, it's freedom over fear. Come at me. What are you going to do? Make me lose my job? I own multiple businesses. I'm a partner in a company. Like, I literally cannot be fired from anything. I set myself up for that. And even if I did lose everything, if that's what God intended to happen, then that's what God intended to happen. But if you guys want to destroy my life because I have an opinion, guess what? I don't care anymore, because Charlie Kirk lost his for having an opinion. He lost a lot more than I'll ever lose. And maybe something does happen to me. At least I know that I didn't fucking die on my knees. And here you got Buddy who's trying to bring in Israel into the, so go and write that name down. There you go. You got these fucking absolutely fucking conspiracy nuts that are trying to have their moment in the sun. So Mark Kirbyson, make sure you write that guy down. Go look him up. Fucking piece of garbage. James Schnitzer, there you go. Go write him down as well. There you go. There you go. Jamie Schnitzer. These are the people you guys should all be writing down. They're probably troll accounts, because these people are cowards and can't fucking actually say something with their real name. More libtards in the chat. Yeah, absolutely. This is what you're going to deal with, right? These are the same people cheering for the death of somebody. This is why I call them evil. And I'm not even surprised anymore. They are evil. They are literal evil. And I'm not even worried about it anymore. We'll call them out one by one, piece by piece. They'll never come have a discussion. And yeah. Thanks, Tom, for the comment. Appreciate it. BPD, a man with the voice of the people. Like I tell you, I tell many people, I'm just a man with an opinion. I had a guy, he's probably watching this. He's setting up my gym equipment the other day, and I opened the garage door for them to come in, and he was like, "No way, no fucking way. You're Berta Proud Dad." Feels cool, right? Because you're getting recognized. But what I tell these people is, I'm just a man with a phone and an opinion, and people agree and they watch. And that's the truth. And that's all Charlie was. A man with an opinion. He lost his life for it. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. And like I said, I just wanted to come on here, and I just wanted to, before my house becomes crazy, the contractor showing up and doing what he's got to do, and then the furnace is getting put in, and I got a meeting today. I got to better check, see what time that is. I didn't get any sleep, as many of you, know. I love this. Luna, you should be able to handle discourse. Charlie did. Freedom of speech is letting everyone speak, no matter how unpleasant. You're absolutely correct, Luna, except he died for it, because there is no freedom of speech. Only one side gets the freedom of speech. Our side, we get unalived for it, or doxxed, or shamed, or maimed, or fired, or whatever. But it can't happen to them, right? The man got shot for an opinion. Freedom over fear. That's what I believe in. Like I said, I pulled this. I literally grabbed this out of the thing. I haven't worn this in probably months. And it was the first one I grabbed. And I was like, that is so fitting for today. Stephen, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Justin, the world's become pathetic. Liberals are the destruction of this world. They're a mental health issue. The minority have freedom of speech. Liberals are evil. Oh, I'm going to stick to that. I'm literally going to stick to that. If I'm ever going to make a t-shirt, it's probably going to be that. Liberals are evil. Anyway, folks, I'm going to hop off. I appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you so much. We'll be live later on throughout the day. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here.